Hey everyone, just making a quick video about the new Mage board game expansion, Shades of Tezla. I'm just going to go over setup for the first scenario in the booklet called Life and Death. This is a setup for the solo version of it. And so I'm going to start with just basic tile setup here. The first thing it tells you is you're going to need 3 city tiles. Specifically, you have to have the red city tile, which will end up holding your necropolis, and the green city tile, which will end up holding your hidden valley. Then you need one more city tile, which I have here. I don't know what color it is. I just prefer it that way. I separated them out, then put one face down. In the future, both of the cities are going to hold the avatars of their respective factions. And they're going to be set to level 6 in the solo expansion, marked by the mana crystal there. Additionally, you'll need 2 more core tiles, just picked randomly. So that was pretty easy, quick setup. The country tiles, a little bit longer, still pretty easy. They let you know that you have to have exactly 3 country tiles with magical glades on them, which you can see here. And since it's exactly 3, when you're pulling your other 3 country tiles for a total of 6 country tiles, you have to make sure you go through and separate out the rest of the tiles with magic glades, so these will not be played in this scenario. And so that's the setup. These will end up getting shuffled together, and then you'll deal them out in a wedge formation. We'll talk about this later, but the north side of the map, which will be this side, is going to be distinctly different from this side of the map in terms of what kind of tokens can be laid on the various sides of the map. Speaking of which, going to tokens, you have to go through your rampaging enemies, your dragons, and your brown tokens and separate them by faction, by the Dark Crusaders or the Elementalists. I did that already. I put them over here, and I marked them by both north and south, and also using the tokens red for the Dark Crusaders, green for the Elementalists. This is also helpful because later on in the scenario, if you have to place a random faction on a space, this will help me sort of remember the die rolls. I believe, off the top of my head, it's black, red, blue for Dark Crusaders, and green, gold, white for Elementalists. I'll have to double check on that, but it's pretty close. Definitely the red and the green I have correct. And so, other than that, setup is pretty normal. You take out the competitive spells, your actions are the same, units are the same. I'm keeping an extra die over here because there's going to be a little bit more die rolling than some of the other scenarios because of the random faction placements. I have my artifacts and my gold units ready to go. My wounds way over there. Got my dummy player set up. All of the reference cards under the dummy player. I have my turn order cards set up, whose names escape me at this point. My apologies. And of course, Brevlar, the new hero, along with the ability tokens that come into play in this expansion. And so, pretty much just need to shuffle up and get ready, and be ready to play the Life and Death solo scenario for the Shades of Tezla expansion. Thanks. Alright, so here's the initial setup for the Life and Death scenario. It's important when playing this scenario to remember and to think about this map in terms of a north side, which is the side of the Dark Crusaders, versus the south side, which is the side of the Elementalist faction. You split the wedge map right down the middle, so if you can imagine this going out infinitely in a wedge shape, that's helpful. The center tiles that end up being on neither one side nor the other will make a difference later on. We'll talk about that in terms of randomly rolling for factions. In the current setup, unfortunately, my Dark Crusader side is a little vanilla at this point. It did not get any special tokens, just a plain old Mage Tower, plain old keep. I just pulled those from my trusty plano boxes down here. set those up. However, my south side does have a couple of interesting things going on in terms of the new setup, so we'll talk about that. I have a rampaging spot as well as a magical glade spot. Both were pulled from the elementalist token piles that I set up previously. And so this is pretty simple. My rampaging enemy are these Elven Protectors, which have the one new ability on them, so that's kind of exciting. Those simply go, boom, right there, just as a normal setup. The Magical Glade, however, gets treated almost like a Ruins, where you can enter it from its space itself, and it needs to be liberated in order to gain, I believe it's an artifact if I recall correctly, and you get to put the shield on it for in-game scoring. It gets a brown Elementalist token and a green Elementalist token. So, looks like I got a Earth Elemental, pretty sturdy guy, as well as a Crystal Sprite, who's got a couple of the interesting new mechanics on there. Let's talk briefly about the center spaces. When you reveal this tile, which I'm going to keep secret because I actually am going to play this whole setup and I don't want to redo everything, so my apologies. Essentially, every space that could get a Elementalist or a Dark Crusader, so the rampaging spots and the Magical Crusaders, you're going to roll a dice for that to determine who gets the spot. I was correct earlier, where black, red, and blue, you'll set up Dark Crusaders on that spot, and the other three colors, gold, green, and red, you'll set up Elementalists for that spot. And I'm assuming in the scenario like this one, this role could be very distinct from this role, and so you might have two different factions at war right next to each other, which is kind of cool from a flavor perspective and in terms of strategy in the scenario. So that's the basic setup. I'm going to play this now. Probably not going to record the whole thing. I don't have good enough equipment, nor do I have Rick Royal's charming personality to probably maintain your attention for an entire scenario. So thanks for checking out these videos. If there's more interest in me doing more of these, I could definitely look into investing into some better equipment and stuff. Other than that, I'm really excited to play this scenario, and good luck to all you out there that also got it. Bye. Alright, so I already played the first turn of the new expansion scenario that I set up, and it was pretty cool, so I couldn't resist making just one more video, just because the turn already presented me with some interesting decisions and showed me some cool stuff about this new expansion that makes me really excited about playing it more. So I'll just talk about it a little bit and show you guys what I did. Again, I've already revealed everything, so I know it's going to come out. It's going to come out exactly like the turn that I didn't record. So don't be surprised when things are already pre-set up and whatnot. So first thing is I took the Great Start card, so that's why I have 7 cards. Typically a pretty good first card to take when playing these scenarios. Based on my cards, I decided I was going to go after this Archer over here. Not saying it's the most optimal. I definitely saw a couple other options. I just went for it because I just wanted to see how it would play out. So to get there, I used Revlar's new card, Druidic Paths. Move 2, the move cost of 1 space is reduced by 1 this turn to a minimum of 2. And then I also used Stamina to give me a total of 4 move. So I just went right through the forest, since that then became a move cost of 2 plus 2, since this got reduced by 1. So 4 got me right up next to the Archer. After that, I used these 3 cards to defeat the Archer. Crystallized first using a mana die to get me a green crystal, which would end up giving me 6 attack when used with Rage. I need 6 because the Archer has that Defender ability, which you can see is the little shield. I know it's a little blurry, the little shield has a 2 on it. The defender ability says that it will increase the armor of the first person that you attack in a group. Since he's in a group by himself, he's going to increase his own armor, so he goes up to 6, and so I need 6 to defeat him. I'm starting with 2 armor. He's got an attack of 3, so I need to take 2 wounds. Take 2 wounds to my hand, attack him for 6, and I kill him. So a couple things happen now. He obviously gives me 2 fame. So I move up on the fame track, simple enough. Then, because he has that little symbol right there, you'll notice probably a 3 attack, 6 armor, red resistant enemy would probably worth more than 2 fame in the other expansions. I'm guessing the reason for the reduction in fame is because when you kill one of these guys, you get a magical ability from one of the 2 sets of tokens that comes with the expansion, which are pictured here in my expansion box. So here's the Elementalist tokens, and here's the Dark Crusaders tokens. So you get the fame plus one of those magical items, and these magical items are interesting because they have a ton of abilities, but also because they can be used at any time during your turn for 1 extra fame or 3 influence during an interaction. And I think the 1 extra fame can only be used during an interaction too. And that represents handing off the item or trading it to somebody in a village or monastery, etc. So I drew this guy right here, which is called the Mystical Map, which is going to let me, during my movement, reveal a new tile at a distance of up to 3 spaces for free. So it essentially lets me explore for free. But what I really like is the idea that maybe I can use it for an extra fame, which as of right now would let me level up, which might be interesting. I can use it for additional influence, which puts me in an interesting position because I'm near this village over here, and discard this guy because he's dead. I'm near this village over here. There's this magical glade, which is going to be tough to cut through, and there are some Utem crossbowmen begging to be recruited by me, which becomes easier now that I could perhaps use 3 influence there, maybe my threaten. I'm probably going to use my tranquility on the next turn to get rid of a couple of these wounds that I got. And so the game, it's just after turn 1, and it's already opened up a ton of really interesting decisions. Ooh, I'm adjacent to this, so this guy also gets revealed. It's nice to remember. And so I'm really excited to play through this scenario. It's already pretty cool. It already feels flavorful. Brevolar, this Druidic Path card, seems pretty strong. So I'm already having a ton of fun. It's just after turn 1, so it's pretty exciting. Pretty sure this will be my last video. Hopefully, well, not hopefully, but nothing else will get me too excited that I'll have to make another ranty 6-minute long video and whatnot. But happy gaming. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.